I would like to remind the participants, if you would like to address your question or feedback, you can use the Q&A feature, or you can raise hand so that we can open the microphone access for you. We have like 1 hour duration for the Q&A session, so please feel free to address it at any time. Okay, maybe Mrs. Devi, while we are waiting for the participants, I would like to ask question about challenges in developing botanical pesticides in several countries. Sometimes the challenge is lack of chemical data and positive controls. And can you share your experience in overcoming such challenges? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question, Mrs. Niken. Yeah, as we know that the synthetic pesticide is very common to use by our farmer, but I think now from 2016, the botanical pesticide, it become an alternative pesticide that usually used by a farmer, because the farmer now has awareness about the negative effect from the synthetic pesticide. And to overcome about the challenges of using of botanical pesticide, as I can say before that we can make a botanical pesticide from any plant around us, with the two requirement, like they have a bitter taste and also they have strong aroma. If we found the plant that have a bitter taste and also strong aroma, we can use that plant to make a botanical pesticide. So it will be the solution if in another country not found like neem, like lemongrass, we can use another plant that have a bitter taste and also the strong aroma. But the other ways to how to socialize the botanical pesticide is like training like this. We usually help the training like this, how to socialize the effect of the using synthetic pesticide. The effect, the negative effect, like not only for the human but also the environment, like can decrease the natural enemy, and also can the pest become resistant, and then also the cost of the cost to control the pests and disease, it will be higher every season. So we usually do the socialization to make the farmer can change the mind, the perception about using the synthetic pesticide. So they will maybe minimize, or maybe can open the perception about the botanical pesticide. I think like that, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much for the explanation, Mrs. Dewi. There is another question from Mr. Ferguson from Indonesia. His question is, are botanical pesticides toxic to humans? Also, maybe if I could add another comment to his question, like I've also heard that there is of botanical pesticide that is also toxic for fish. Do you have comments for that?
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Ferguson. Okay, are the botanical toxic to human? As we know, after we have do a lot of study here, there's no toxic. There will not affect the human, because the active compound or the toxin from the botanical pesticide or from the plant, it will easily degrade it. So it will not become a residue to the plant and will not affect the human. I think so, Mrs. Niken. So yes, it more not only friendly for the environment but also for our health.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ferguson. I hope it answers your question. So while we are waiting for another question from the participants, maybe continuing to your response for Mr. Ferguson's question. You already explained about the you already explained that the botanical pesticides is safe for the living organisms, like for humans especially. Do you have comment about the impact? Maybe is there any possible impact of botanical pesticides on the soil microbial community?
Okay, yeah. As we say before that the healthy plant, the key is the soil health, of course. And the botanical pesticide not only not only affect the human health, but also they can support the diversity on soil microorganism, Mrs. Niken. So it really safe to use if we compare with the synthetic pesticide. As we know, there are botanical pesticide is really support to not only for the human being, not only for the environment, but also can increase the population of soil microorganism. And as we know that if the soil microorganism is increased, the biodiversity is increased, so the problem of pest and disease also will be decreased, because the natural enemies also come from the soil. Not only natural enemy like predator or parasitoid that commonly insect, but also soil microorganism like pathogen, as we told before, like fungi or bacteria, PGPB. Maybe Mrs. Lutfi have a presentation. It's kind of the soil microorganism that can support by application of botanical pesticide. But how to increase the effectivity of the botanical pesticide? We have to minimize of using of synthetic fertilizer, and also minimize the synthetic pesticide. So we have to decrease or minimize the using of the synthetic fertilizer and also synthetic pesticide. Thank you, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Devi, for the explanation. There is another question from Mr. Jeffrey. He's from Solomon Island. His question is, how can botanical pesticides be weighed per strength derived? For example, like volume percentage to terminate insects compared to synthetic pesticides?
So much for the question. Yeah, maybe this is a very common question, I think. We cannot compare the action between the botanical pesticide and also the synthetic pesticide, because we cannot compare like apple to apple, because the mode of action is very different. Maybe this is the obstacle that the using of the botanical pesticide. The botanical pesticide, as we talked before, why we thought that botanical pesticide, we have to know about the proportion between the plant material and also the water. It comes because it based on my study here, if we make the botanical pesticide without know about the proportional, without know the right proportion between the plant material and the water, it will affect the effectiveness of the botanical pesticide. So if we want to make botanical pesticide with the effectivity similar or quite similar with the synthetic pesticide, we can make it a botanical pesticide with the right ratio. Right ratio is 1 to 4, 1 to plant material and 4 for the water. So if we want to make a botanical pesticide from one plant, for example, neem, if we want to make 4 liter, it means we need 1 kilogram of neems. So the key of the effectiveness of botanical pesticide is the right proportion between the plant material and also the water with the extraction method. I think like that, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Devi. Mr. Jeffrey, I hope it answers your question, but of course you can provide further feedbacks or comments just in case you have further questions. Mrs. Devi, there is another question from Mr. or Mrs. Ganesh Rawat from Nepal. The question is, botanical pesticides do not have any negative implication to the insects in the crop field. I think he or she just needs a further detail. Because you confirm that it is not dangerous for the surrounding organism.
Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Niken, for that question. Mr. or Mrs. Ganesh from Nepal. Yeah, this is become important issue, I think. Yeah, important issues that the botanical pesticide it can affect the beneficial organism or not, or the same effect with the synthetic pesticide. From my study, we know that botanical pesticide, if we make with the right proportion, it can affect, it cannot affect the beneficial insect. But if we applicate or using the botanical pesticide more than the recommendation, as we thought before that for the application, we just only use 200 milliliter for 16 liter of water. Now, if we use the botanical pesticide more from the recommendation, it will affect the plant itself. Not affect the beneficial organism, but it will affect the plant itself. Why? Yeah, if we use the doses or the concentration more from the recommendation, it will cause the toxin will be affect the plant, or maybe the common name that usually know. The process is phytotoxin. So the toxin will be affect the plant. So we can conclude that the botanical pesticide will not affect the beneficial organism, will not affect the plant if we use the botanical pesticide with the right concentration. But if we use more or less, maybe less or more by recommendation, it will affect the plant itself. If we use lower, it cannot be effective anymore. If we use more, it can be affect plant. The plant become rot, maybe become die, because the effect we can see the leaf become burn. If the leaf burn, it means that the doses or the concentration is too high, or we usually call phytotoxin. Maybe that's my explanation, Mrs. Niken. I hope Mr. or Mrs. Ganesh can get the point. Thank you.
To summarize, so maybe the appropriate botanical pesticide will be a target specific, right, Mrs. Yeah, it is target specific. So, Mr. Ganesh, I'm certain the answer helps. So there is another question, Mrs. Devi, from Mr. Nitya from Fiji. His question is, how often do we spray the pesticides, knowing that we spray synthetic pesticides on a weekly basis, or fortnightly, or even monthly?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. or Mrs. I'm sorry, Mr. or Mrs. Nitya. Okay, the frequency to application it depend of the plan itself. If we application for the prevent, we usually do or spray the plan is to one time 2 weeks one time for 2 weeks. It's for prevention. But if our plan is already attacked by pest and disease, I think we can spray or we can use botanical pesticide 2 times a week. So the frequency or the application, it depends on the condition of the crop or of the plant. For the prevention, I think one time for 2 weeks is enough, Mrs. Niken or Mr. or Mrs. Nitya. But if our plant, our crop is already attacked, I think 2 times a week, it will be suitable for control the pest and disease. I hope Mr. or Mrs. Nitya can get my explanation, Mrs. Niken. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mrs. Devi. Yeah. I hope it answers your question, Mr. Nitya. So there's another question from Mr. Jeffrey from Solomon Islands. He's asking, do you use Deris elliptica for botanical? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Deris elliptica, yes, this is very common in Indonesia. The name of Indonesia is tuba, usually used for the fish, the toxin for the fish. Yeah, usually found in Kalimantan or Borneo Island. For the Deris elliptica, yeah, this is in my opinion, I think. In my opinion, we don't use the Deris elliptica for botanical pesticide. Why? Because the active compound of Deris elliptica, that it can affect the human, I think. So for Indonesia, there have a book, there have a reference before, the study before, that the Deris elliptica have an active compound that can affect the respiratory system of human. So we cannot use Deris elliptica as a plant material to make a botanical pesticide. That's the answer, Mrs. Niken. So yeah, we have to find another plant, and also we have to know the active compound, the active compound about the plant before we make the botanical pesticide. So many references we have to read, I think, because it can make our knowledge and also our experience to socialize the botanical pesticide really friendly, not only for the environment but also the human health. I think that's really important. Thank you for the question.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Devi. Mr. Jeffrey, I'm sure that it answers your question. There is another question from Mr. Ganesh Nepal. It is a follow up from his previous question. I think he just wants to know about how can a botanical pesticide, how botanical pesticide works in doing a target specific. Like, I wonder why only harmful pests will be affected with application of botanical pesticide rather than beneficial insects. Are there any research evidence behind this? Would you please explain for me?
Well, okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ganesh. Wow, that's really a great question. Yeah, there are any research or any study that show the evidence. The botanical pesticide not in general botanical pesticide, but some of plant they're not affect the beneficial insect. For example, in ICIT Ketindan, we have a formulation of the botanical pesticide. It made from the five plant, and before we transfer to the farmer, we do some study, and then from the study and from the research, we know that from the 5 plant, neem, clove, piper beetle, galanga, and also the lemongrass, they are not affect the beneficial organism. But if the question is in general, I have to find out about any paper, I think, or maybe any research about the effect the botanical pesticide. But we have many research and many paper. Maybe I can send to your email, Mr. Ganes or Mrs. Ganes. We can discuss more about this problem or this issue, I think. Thank you, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dewi. Well, I think upon completion of the training, the NAM Center will share the email contact of the training so that participants can consult further about the practice of integrated pest and disease management in their countries. Yeah. So there is a question from Mr. Jeffrey Solomon. Can all the practices in pesticides applications be simplified and complied and be given to farmers to address pest infestation as a step-down approach?
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. Yeah, okay. As we shared before, that if we want to make an organic pesticide like a botanical pesticide or liquid smoke, we cannot combine with the synthetic pesticide. Why? Because the effect is antagonist. So if we want to combine the practices of using of pesticide, we can combine all the organic pesticide like botanical pesticide, like maybe PGPB or maybe liquid smoke, it can be combined. But we cannot combine with the synthetic one, because if we use synthetic and then we use organic pesticide, the effect will not appear, I think. We can know about the botanical pesticide is effective or not. So if we want to practice this or application the pesticide, we have to differentiate about the organic pesticide and also the synthetic pesticide. They can combine each other. Maybe like that, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dewi. I'm sure that it answers the question from Mr. Jeffrey. For participants, if you would like to ask further questions, you can always address it through the Q&A or raise hand. Okay. Also questions from Mr. Nitya. I think we can follow up through other communication channel. He said that please you can provide us with list of the names of the botanical plants that are used for pesticides. In the slide, only family name is given. Thanks.
Okay.
Is it available in the module, Mrs. Dewi?
I'm sorry, because the name of the plant or the family, there's no in my module. Maybe I can share about this botanical pesticide in LMS or maybe by email, I think. Yeah.
We can help to transmit it to all participants if you have.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Or Word document, but of course you can attach it on the LMS as well, and that is convenient for you.
Yeah. For Mr. Nitya, Mr. or Mrs. I'm sorry. Okay. For Mr. Nitya, I think I will send my book about the list of the plant, the name of the plant that can use for botanical plant. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Thank you, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much. Okay. There a question from Mrs. N. Mrs. N is from Fiji. Miss Anne. I hope that I pronounced her name correctly. So, so her question is for the application of liquid smoke on chili against anthracnose trial and research. Was it very successful compared to any other biopesticides?
Okay, thank you so much for the question, Mr. or Mrs. N. Yeah, we have a lot of study about the how to control the disease of the chili plant. One of them is anthracnose. Anthracnose is caused by the fungi, Coleotrichum capsici. And then, if the question is very successful compared to any other biopesticide, I can say yes. I can say yes because I have a lot of research about the this disease, and if we compare with the biopesticide like use of neem and also the other plant, liquid smoke is very effective to inhibit the growth of the fungi. Why? Because the active compound, as we told before, phenol and acetic acid. Phenol and acetic acid that is in or the active compound from the liquid smoke, it can not only inhibit the growth, but also can affect the spores of the fungi. So as the presentation before, maybe we can see that the fungi cannot develop anymore because the phenol and the asam acetic content from the liquid smoke. Yeah, I hope Mr. or Mrs. N can get my point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Devi. So there is another question from Mr. Jeffrey from Solomon Island. Like he asked, do you use chilies?
Chilies, yeah. Okay. For the chili, we use the Capsicum annum. Capsicum annum. Capsicum annum. She asked about the species. The species is Capsicum annum. Yeah, but it can be used for other species, not only Capsicum annum, but it can use for the other species of capsicum, I think. Thank you.
Well, I guess the list of the botanical plants that you are using as an ingredient of botanical pesticides will be delivered through a document, a digital document.
Yeah.
To all participants.
Yeah. Maybe I will send about the formulation how to make a botanical pesticide, Mrs. Niken, because I think all the participants interest with the botanical pesticide, I think.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, and the ingredients as well, just in case, so that they have many options to choose the ingredients. Yeah, we are waiting. So for participants, please, if you would like to ask questions, feel free to drop your questions on Q&A or raise hand. Or maybe I can ask question, Mrs. Devi.
Yeah.
So my question is, I've learned about the use of antibiotics for suppressing disease affecting citrus. So do you have comment on that? And is there any Like, is it a substitute relationship between antibiotics and the botanical pesticides, or you can only use one of them?
Yeah.
Antibiotics.
Okay. Antibiotic and also botanical pesticide. I think we can choose one of them. We can choose one of them. We prefer to use botanical pesticide or antibiotic because what? Every plant have a specific active compound. For example, let's say neem. Neem have an active compound azadirachtin. Azadirachtin have a function as an insecticide. For example, clove. Clove has an active compound agenol. Agenol is preferred to fungicide. So each plant have an active compound and have also the specific function. It will be insecticide, fungicide, and also bactericide. So if we have antibiotic and also botanical, I prefer to choose one of them. Yeah, thank you. Because it will be minimize the cost, I think, Mrs. Niken. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dewi, for the explanation. There is a question from Mr. Nitya from Fiji. Would you suggest botanical pesticides that are used to control the sucking insects such as mealybugs?
Yeah. Mealybugs is a really important pest, I think, because it can cause a serious effect. Yeah. For control mealybugs, we can use a liquid smoke, for example, and then if we want to make a botanical pesticide, we can use the leaf of soursop leaves. We can use soursop leaves or neem. Yeah, neem is okay. Soursop leaves is okay. Maybe we can use a lemongrass. Yeah, as we say that lemongrass, there are two types of lemongrass. The red one is citronella grass. We usually call citronella grass because the active compound is citronella. Or maybe if there's no the citronella grass, we can use the lemongrass we usually use for the cooking, Mrs. Niken. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dewi. Thank you, Mr. Nitya, for the question. Another question from Mr. Jeffrey, Solomon Islands. Mr. Jeffrey, resistance built up to synthetic pesticides is common. How can botanical pesticides interact?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Yeah, as we know that the synthetic pesticide is related with the one active compound. Usually the synthetic pesticide, the content is only one active compound. That's why the pest it become easily to resistant. But if we use botanical pesticide, as we say before, one plant minimal have 5 active compounds. Minimal have 5 active compounds. So if we use botanical pesticide to against the pest will be harder. Yeah, will be harder to become resistant because the toxin or the active compound is more than 1. Yes, I think that's the reason why the botanical pesticide can minimize the resistance of pests, Mrs. Niken. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Okay. A question from Mr. Crispus Ramos, Solomon Islands. I'm not sure whether this is the same question that was addressed by another participant earlier. Okay. Can chili fruit be used as pesticide?
Yeah. Yeah, this is different question, I think. Yeah. We can use any plant for biological pesticide. Yeah. Include the chili fruit. We can use for botanical pesticide. But we cannot use plant from the same family. For example, if we want to control the pest and disease, let's say in the tomato, Yeah, tomato is the same family with the chili. So if we want to control the pest and disease in tomato, we cannot use the chili to become the plant material to make a botanical pesticide. Why? Because the chili and tomato have a same family. So the same family, it will be pest and disease will be the same. So if we use the chili to make a botanical pesticide, but the application is to another family different with the chili, I think it's okay. Maybe that's my answer, Mrs. Niken. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing the participants are very interested.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because I heard it also has commercial value on the market, right? Because people are approaching are approaching the sustainable agricultural approach, and yeah, and the sale of botanical pesticides is very good in the market. So another question from Mr. Nitya. Mr. Nitya from Fiji, are you using BT? If yes, which strain do you have and for which insects do you use? Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much for the question, Mr. Nitya. In ICIT Ketindan, so sorry, I'm not using BT. Why? Because as we know that BT is really, maybe it's really hard to, we can develop. In ICIT, we use another beneficial organism because in ICIT, we need a simple procedure or simple way, because the target of our institution is the farmer. So to control pest and disease, besides BT, we usually use like a Beveria bassiana, and then we use Metarhizium anisopliae, because a BT, Beveria, and also Metarhizium is insect pathogen. This have a same function, insect pathogen. And why we don't use the BT? Because I think the process is, if we share with the farmer, it's harder than it's harder than Beveria bassiana and Metarhizium anisopliae. So the answer is I'm not use a BT, but I use the Metarhizium anisopliae and also Beveria bassiana. Mr. Nitya, I'm sorry, I'm not use a BT. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dewi.
Yeah.
So for other participants, if you would like to ask questions, we still have 16 minutes before we conclude the day one of the training. Or maybe I can ask question, but it is more related to the economic aspect. If it's okay, Mrs. Dewi. Yeah, as you know that the botanical pesticides have market value, and people are trying to make their own botanical pesticides, and maybe also some people are trying to sell it on the market.
Yeah.
But the problem that they are usually facing is about regulation. Maybe there is regulation from the authority and about how to formalize the production and the marketing and the use, because sometimes the challenge is to change the habit of farmers from using synthetic pesticides to the botanical ones is also still challenge in some region. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, the hardest thing I think is the challenge is how to make the habit of the farmer to use the botanical pesticide. But yeah, as we know, in ICIT Ketindan, we also help the training that supports to organic pesticide. Let's say how to formulate the botanical pesticide, how to make the botanical pesticide. And now Ministry of Agriculture have a new regulation when the farmer make a botanical pesticide. They for the registration now is more simple than before. Yeah, so the government is also try how to socialize the botanical pesticide, because as we know that the problem or the issue of the agriculture now is the using of the synthetic pesticide, not only the pesticide, I think, but also the synthetic fertilizer, Mrs. Niken. And now as we can see, the using of synthetic pesticide and also synthetic fertilizer, it will become it can become or affect the environment. So if we can say that farmer have to farmer need a high cost to buy synthetic pesticide and also synthetic fertilizer. And one of the solution that government can share is with botanical pesticide, Mrs. Niken. So the regulation, the registration process for botanical pesticide, I think it will be more simple now, because the government also have limited the registration of synthetic pesticide. So it will be very, I think it will be a new hope for us to improve or to develop botanical pesticide in our country. Thank you, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dwi. So from your point, maybe I can take that by making the registration for botanical pesticides, it will become some kind of encouragement for the farmers to stop using the synthetic pesticides, right, Mrs. Dewi?
Yeah, thank you.
There is a question from Mr. Ganesh, Nepal, about his question is, how can we prevent powdery mildew, tomato or cucurbits growth in greenhouse? It has been great challenge for protected cultivation for farmers.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Mr. Ganesh. Yeah, we usually do. We usually application the botanical pesticide to control and powdery mildew on tomato and also for family cucurbitaceae. And the results show that the liquid smoke and also botanical pesticide, especially made from the 5 plants that I talked before, neem, clove, piper beetle, and then lemongrass, and the last one is galanga or Avinia galanga. It can suppress and also it can control the disease of powdery mildew. But the point is, if we want to prevent the disease, the solution is not we spray when the plant already attacked. But if we want to prevent our plant is safe from the pest and disease, we can do a seed treatment first. Using a PGPB that I have taught before from Mrs. Lutfi. So if you want to prevent, I think I can suggest from seed treatment using the PGPB, and then we can spray the botanical pesticide or liquid smoke early. Early it means when the plant in seed nursing, we can already spray the plant. So we can wait the plant attacked by the pest and disease, I think, because if we spray when the plant has already attacked, I think the effectivity of botanical pesticide will be decreased. Maybe like the Mrs. Niken and Mr. Ganesh. So the key is in seed treatment, I think. The key is in seed treatment. Okay.
Very much, Mrs. Devi. Well, I'm sure that it answers the question, Mr. Ganesh. There are still 2 other questions.
Okay.
We have 12 minutes left. Yeah. So the question is, yeah. So yeah. So the question is from Mr. Jeffrey, Solomon Island. Comparing levels of toxic from scales of 1 to 10, how botanical can be safe for people in terms of residual deposits per person to synthetic pesticides?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Mr. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mr. Jeff.
Okay. Yeah. If we say about the scales, I think it depends. It depends on a plant material that we use to make a botanical pesticide, Mrs. Niken. Yeah, it depends on the plant material that we use to make a botanical pesticide. But in general, if we say comparing leaf level, if we can say scale, it will be 8. Yeah, it will be 8 because why? As we know that the active compound or the toxic from the plant material, as we know as secondary metabolite, is really easily to degrade it. So the active compound or the toxin will not affect the human if the plant become the food, or we eat the plant, and the residue will be not affect the human health because the toxin and the active compound is already degraded. Yeah, it's already degraded. It really different with the synthetic pesticide, with where the toxin and the active compound it stay in the plant cell. So if we eat the plant, so the residue it will become in our body, because the toxin cannot or more hardly degraded if we compare the botanical pesticide. Maybe that's my explanation, Mrs. Niken.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Devi. Maybe last question. I'm sorry for participants. If you would like,
yeah. It's my pleasure, Mrs. Niken.
Yes, yeah. One more question for other participants. If you have further questions, of course, I will share the contact of all of the trainers so that you can address it through email. So this is the last question is from Miss M from Fiji. Have you used Trichoderma to control Colletotrichum?
Yeah, Colletotrichum capsicum. Yeah.
Capsicum, your trial or research? If yes, then how effective was it?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. Yeah, as we know that Trichoderma is antagonist pathogen, yeah, usually used to against the disease. For example, is Colletotrichum capsicum, the causes of the anthracnose on chili plant. And if the question, how effective was it? If we compare with the botanical pesticide, if we compare the botanical pesticide, I can say that the Trichoderma have the same effective with the liquid smoke, yeah, but they have a different mode of action. Yeah, if we compare with the liquid smoke and the botanical pesticide, both of them have the same effectiveness to control the Colletotrichum capsicum, but the mechanism or mode of action is different. Maybe that's my answer, Mrs. Niken.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, just a conjoining question. Thank you very much, Mrs. Devi.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There is a question from Mr. Jeffrey. How if
Yeah.
it's vice versa? How it what happens is the opposite. I'm not sure what it means.
I'm sorry. I
How
can get.
if it's vice versa? How if what happens is the opposite?
How? Okay. How if it's vice versa? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. For the biological pesticide, as we shared before, there are some plants that have synergistic have synergistic effect or complement, but there are also some plants that have antagonistic. So if we want to know about the question, I think I will send about the material first, and I think we will discuss later about the botanical pesticide and also how the effect and the antagonistic or synergistic effect, because I think in our model that I have shared on the LMS, I didn't input the this problem. Yeah, maybe later I have to email to Mr. Jeffrey and
Mr. Jeffrey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I already get the point. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I guess the further questions from the participants. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
just like what we have agreed earlier, that we will share the list of ingredients of botanical pesticides to the participants. And of course, like the trainers are open for future communications through just in case if the participants would like to discuss issues about pest and disease management in their countries. So for Mrs. Devi, do you have like final conclusion about our dynamic and fruitful discussion today during your session?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Tiken. It's such an honor for me to can share our experience to all participants. And as we know that the IPM is the key or the big part of the solution to provide farmer with tool and strategy to maximize production and also to minimize erosions. And botanical pesticide can be used as an alternative pesticide to minimize the negative effect from the insecticide, from the synthetic insecticide. I think, thank you so much for the question. I hope I can, from my explanation, all the participants can get my point. And then for the material, like the species, the kind of plant that can be used for the botanical pesticide, I will send it to Mrs. Niken maybe, or maybe I can attach in my LMS. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation and discussion, Mrs. and the participants. So we are heading to the final agenda of today's event. Don't forget that we still have tomorrow's session. So maybe Mrs. Siti from Agricultural Training Center, do you have final remarks? Or maybe address for the participants.
Thank you, Ms. Niken. Very interesting topic for the last topic for today. And I hope the participant can gain the knowledge and can share to others in your place to about the topic. See you tomorrow for all of you.